Hi, everybody. Hope you had a good weekend. Boy, what a beautiful day today here on the west side of our state. I'm coming to you in the 5 o'clock hour, and there are still some showers showing up out in the East Gorge, parts of Eastern Oregon, and parts of Central Oregon, but certainly here on the west side, just gorgeous, gorgeous weather outside. Real quick, and then I'll get to this headline, which is impressive, right? Final spring freeze maybe coming this week. Okay, more on that in a moment. So remember yesterday, Saturday, we talked a lot about this big thunderstorm clusters over Central Oregon, up and down parts of the Cascades in Eastern Oregon. All of that came true. We had over half of an inch of rain that fell down in Eugene yesterday. Corvallis picked up a quarter of an inch of rain. It was just more than a trace by the time you got to Salem. Portland missed out. Over in Central Oregon, Redmond 43 107 inch, Bend 34 107 inch of rain. The clouds that we had here in Portland, Vancouver, and the North Valley yesterday, more than what I was expecting, which now that I think about it, should have been expecting them, because it was basically blow off from the tops of those big thunderstorms that were raging over in Central Oregon and up and down parts of the Cascades. The rain, pretty much as I just mentioned, ended up staying south and east of Portland. Anyway, all of that has calmed down. Some lingering showers I mentioned over parts of the state on this late Friday afternoon, but overall, a pretty quiet weather pattern. So I'm going to make a big deal out of this topic. It's that time of the year where a lot of you wonder, is there any chance we're going to be even close to freezing, or are we finished? Well, we have a cooler batch of air that's coming in tomorrow and Tuesday that opens the door for us to eventually feed off of this big Canadian high that you see here up in Canada. This Canadian air will start feeding into us Tuesday overnight into Wednesday morning with an east wind and clearing skies. And if you live in a spot where you don't get the east wind typically and you are dead calm Wednesday morning, Thursday morning, you potentially, in spots anyway, have temperatures at freezing or slightly above. So, kind of sounding the alarm on this early gardening season, if you will, that this is what we could be looking at. And I've got a couple more graphics to illustrate this. So, again, here's the Canadian high. This is Wednesday morning. I think Wednesday morning, the winds are pretty calm. Now, later in the day, Wednesday into Thursday and into Friday, we'll have breezy east winds feeding off of this Canadian high shooting through the gorge. And of course, wind at night actually helps temperatures warmer. So the best chance for us to see any freezing temperatures will be in flat, calm areas. And I think there's two mornings that we could do it. Again, Wednesday morning and on Thursday morning. So understand that I'm forecasting kind of the coldest possible range here. So for the valley and the I-5 corridor, we're talking about Wednesday lows in the usual cold spots. If you live out in Hillsborough, if you live in Battleground, if you live down in Corvallis, usual cold spots, maybe out in parts of Yamhill County, as low as 29 degrees Wednesday morning to at least freezing or in the 30s. Thursday morning, now, especially the Portland metro, I expect to have some decent wind. But if you're in a calm wind area Thursday morning where you don't get the east winds, you know who you are, 28 to 33. And then Friday, the last chance of anything, but odds really favor even the coldest calm wind areas being more like 35, 36, 37. So I really believe when I look at the forecast models out beyond this week, this is the final little stretch that we will be seeing a lot of the area dip into the 30s and maybe some spotty areas get down to freezing. I'm not saying we're going to have widespread freezing temperatures. I'm saying calm wind locations in outlying areas will have the chance to be somewhere near 32. So we'll be watching those low temperatures those mornings, Wednesday, Thursday, and to a lesser extent on Friday. Hey, let's start by looking at the air mass that I'm talking about. So right up, this is this afternoon, the American GFS model, 850 millibar, 5,000 foot temperatures. This is what I call the air mass map. It's where we track the warm air, the cold air, that sort of thing. So right here in green, this is the cold air mass, colder, that is going to be coming in overnight tonight, Monday and Tuesday. And as it does, we have at least a shower chance, but it's looking like a lot of us probably don't see any moisture. And I mentioned, so this is Tuesday afternoon. I have high temperatures in the 50s, at least a shower chance. But really, what this does, it opens the door for that Canadian high that's sitting up here to start dropping the colder air into us. And now here's that Canadian high. Wednesday afternoon down into Montana and Colorado as it moves off to the east. Here we are Thursday. Again, Montana, Colorado, Wyoming, Nebraska. Now we're feeding an east wind off of this. And eventually we'll start to moderate out of this and east winds will start to fade away. But this is some pretty chilly air into Saturday morning that drops all the way down across all of the plain states, certainly the Dakotas, down into Kansas, Iowa, and parts of Minnesota. So a couple of things with this. Number one, I mentioned the east winds are going to start to blow. Not like the windiest of all winds, but certainly noticeable. So if you look carefully on these barbs, like look at my computer mouse right here, see a little wind arrow? This is a northwest flow pattern. These are sustained winds out in the Pacific at 20 miles per hour. This is the cooler air mass that's going to be coming in overnight tonight. I had forecasted 66 today. I think early this morning I bumped the number to 68. We actually ended up hitting 70. So warmer today in Portland than what I thought. This is definitely cooler air coming in that will hold us closer to 60 degrees for the next couple of days. So this is just a west. Here's Monday getting in the afternoon. This is a west wind, maybe to 15 miles per hour. Some breezier winds to 20 miles per hour tomorrow out in the Columbia Basin with the west wind pattern. The west pattern still with us on Tuesday. Some breezier winds out in the Columbia Basin. West winds coming off the Pacific. Again, cooler air, daytime highs in the valley, only around 60, give or take, both tomorrow and Tuesday. Now, Wednesday morning, notice how, see how, right here how the barbs and the lines, they're all kind of in variable directions. And see the numbers 1? Yeah, that's calm air. That's calm air with a colder, drier air mass in place that might really cause that temperature plunge down near freezing in a whole bunch of spots. I do expect almost all of us, well, actually, I expect all of us to be at least in the 30s Wednesday morning. Now, during the day Wednesday, and then notice right here, see those barbs? I know you have to look carefully. This is Wednesday afternoon. East winds starting to develop during the day Wednesday. Here we are Wednesday evening. Any wind at all would help keep temperatures Thursday morning above freezing. Now, by Thursday afternoon, now we've got some gusty east winds setting up here in the Columbia Basin, coming through the gorge. This shows 10, 15 mile per hour sustained winds, maybe some gusts to 20, 25, but obviously it doesn't show a lot of wind. But it shows a north wind, kind of breezy up and down the coast. And then getting into Friday, now even what was kind of breezy out in the basin is fading away. We still have an east wind direction all the way off the coast, though. So that's sunny, warm weather at the Oregon coast Friday to start the weekend. And then this does show some winds picking up going into Saturday. And there's actually a cooler batch of air that's out in the Pacific starting to come toward us on Saturday. So that's why Friday afternoon, this shows east wind starting to pick up. So we'll be watching the wind direction somewhat. I mentioned there's at least a chance of some moisture tomorrow. I think a better chance of rain on Tuesday. So here we are on the National Blended Model from the Weather Service, their future radar product, showing there's some pretty good rain, and there is actually in southern and in the southeastern parts of Oregon this afternoon. That's expected to fade away into Monday morning. Here's tomorrow morning. We're all dry out east. But see these little gray shades, cloudiness, mainly some traces of moisture. That's what we have tomorrow. I think tomorrow actually has morning clouds and then afternoon sun. And then this plays into just early Tuesday morning, a little bit of rain and green along the Washington coast. Again, some specks of traceable moisture with maybe some morning clouds going into Tuesday. So you get the idea. Cooler the next couple of days, some periods of cloudiness, especially in the mornings. The chance of mainly traceable amounts of moisture, but really not looking for anything more than that. Here's the upper wind flow pattern. This is the American GFS model this afternoon. Here's that next cold trough setting up to our north. And notice, and we talked about this the other day when I talked to you on Friday or Saturday, whenever it was. Friday, I guess it was. This is tomorrow afternoon. Notice how the core of the low is actually up in Canada or just barely pushing across the Washington coastline. A handful of days ago, it looked like this was going to be right on top of us, but now it's staying to the north. So not as cold, and the rain chance just barely hanging on for a trace of moisture tomorrow and Tuesday. Again, you can see that's plainly mainly up to our north as it passes us. And then once we get into Wednesday, let me stop this Wednesday afternoon. We're going to start building off of this ridging, and this is going to warm us up. Right now, I think we're near 70 Thursday afternoon. I have us in the 70s on Friday. of this upcoming week. Here's Friday afternoon, kind of in the ridging right here. Not terribly strong, but enough to really produce some sunshine and nice weather. Now, the weather models, as I play this into this coming weekend, here is Saturday. The models just started to bite on this early this morning that there's a weak trough coming in Saturday that would throw clouds our way, maybe some light rain. And then Sunday, that pretty much gets out of here when we go back to dry. And then we're really comfortable, mid 60s or warmer into the mid part of next week. I'm just going to grab my slider and play this as far as it goes, which is what? This is Friday, April 26th. Here's the polar jet. I mean, you would expect it late April to be well up into Canada, and it is, the darker blue contour. So I don't see anything strong. I see a couple of little light rain chances in the coming 2 weeks, but I see a lot of days with dry weather and a lot of days that are at least mid 60s to 70 degrees. So the outlook for the back half of April is really looking sweet. City forecast right now, this shows Yakima 81. Wow. Pilton 75, Spokane 75. Rain down in Southern Oregon. Medford's cooler, 54. Burns 54. Portland 64 at 5:07 this afternoon after hitting 70 earlier today. So, well, Zoe, maybe this isn't up. Hold on. Let me update this. Okay, this is updated. 66 in Portland. These are the 5 o'clock observations, 63 in Salem. So let me just quickly show you some temps around the state if you're going to be out and about. All dry in Medford all the way tomorrow through Friday. Mid 50s tomorrow, and then starting Saturday, 60-degree temperatures. So really pleasant spring weather, no doubt. Central Oregon, Bend right now, 63, all dry. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Wow. Mid 50s tomorrow and Tuesday, kind of like Medford. Thursday, 60s, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all dry in the 60s. Great stretch. If you have some plans to be vacationing over in the Bend Sun River area, congratulations. Looks really nice. All right, here's Newport. There's at least a chance of some showers. I agree that the chance of any rain the next 2 days is going to be better the farther north you are. So a better chance of some rain up in Cannon Beach, for example, than down in Newport. But I would say there could at least be some traces of moisture with a lot of marine cloudiness, especially in the mornings. Cool weather, low 50s. And then we warm up Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, which we talked about, and getting up into the 60s there, that chance of rain Saturday. Let's see here. Eugene. A lot of you watch this from the Southern Valley. Monday, 57. Tuesday, 57. A lot of cloudiness, cooler, mainly dry. And then warming up. There's that 70 on Thursday, 73 on Friday. That chance of rain that we showed you leaking in on Saturday. And let's bump it up to Seattle, if you will. Slight, kind of like Portland. Cloudiness, especially in the morning hours the next couple of days, or especially tomorrow. And then a chance of mainly traceable amounts of rain. 50-degree temperatures, 53, 54. And then there's the warmer weather. Thursday, 63, Friday, 67, watching a rain chance on a Saturday. Hey, by the way, news from Mount Hood, as I show you temperatures up there. Timberline 46, Meadows 47, Ski Bowl 40, opening up some blank spots in the snow. The bases for the resorts are still really good. Wait a minute, let me see, because I thought I updated these. Yeah, here are the updated numbers. Timberline 129, Meadows 109, Ski Bowl 48. Today was the final day of winter season ski operations at Ski Bowl. You can see the chairlifts are running, but once they shut down today, that's it. They announced that this weekend, that's now coming to an end, would be the conclusion of their winter season operations. So we welcome Ski Bowl's summer season. They'll start to get working on that. Otherwise, up on the mountain, about 40 degrees for a high the next couple of days. It's going to be chilly up there. Mainly a mix of some light raindrops or snow flurries, not really looking for anything accumulation wise. And then sunny and warming into the 50s midweek. Obviously, there's government camp. And you can see there's not a lot of snow at 4,000 feet. All the passes obviously in great shape. Cabbage Hill in great shape. So kind of winding down the winter concern season for Cascade travel, obviously. Courtesy of Hazeldale Tire Pros, here's my update. I think it's solid morning clouds in the morning, and there could be some drizzle or mist with that. Becoming partly cloudy to sunny in the afternoon. We hit 60, I think, assuming we clear out like I think we will. Tuesday could be solid clouds in the morning. I think there's a more legitimate chance of a shower at some point Tuesday day, kind of partly cloudy in the afternoon. And then we have that sunny weather coming Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. In Portland, 35 in the morning. And I'm forecasting and warning you for about as low as the temps could be. So again, maybe I'm making too big a deal over this, but I'll be surprised if there aren't at least a handful of freezing spots Wednesday morning. Thursday, 38 to 68 in Portland, 45 to 73 on Friday. The east winds breezy at times Thursday, Friday. We talked about the shower chances on Saturday with much calmer winds. And right now, Sunday, just like that, looks like it warms back up. So that is your update as we say goodbye to the weekend and we get ready for a brand new week. Coming to you from the Portland, Vancouver area, I'm meteorologist Rod Hill. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. You will be notified when I put out videos. I thank you for watching. My weather site's portlandweather.com, and I'll talk to you soon.